Oh my god, super mega scandal alert. That's right, chulas. This is breaking news, baby. Today, February 22nd, 2023, brother Anthony Morris III is no longer a governing body member. Oh my gosh. Now, there's a lot of speculation in the exjw community as to why this has happened so suddenly, and I want to go through some of those opinions, of course, give you my own, because that's why you're here. And there's really nothing else to it, so let's just do it.
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai, can I get spelling for you, buddy?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I. I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I want to.
Hola chula! Thank you so much for clicking onto this video, and if you are new here, well then hi, hello, my name is Kai, and if you're coming back to my channel, well then that is really incredible and amazing, and thank you so much, I appreciate you. Here on my channel, I aim to share my experience as a person who has left the Jehovah's Witnesses organization and what it was like to grow up in a high-control Christian cult. A little birdie told me something very juicy, and I was sitting in the dentist's office, which, oh my god, you guys, shout out to me for facing my fear, because I hate the dentist. Anyway, I was sitting in the dental office and I look on Instagram or Twitter and I see that Anthony Morris has been removed from the governing body, and it wasn't even like a message with any fanfare or anything. They buried it in their newsroom section, which, I mean, like, who else is going to be perusing the newsroom section unless they were nosy ass XJWs? Like, this is sort of an unprecedented thing, but also not really, because back in the 1980s, there actually was one other person who was removed from the governing body. His name was Raymond France, and he's actually considered to be quite the hero in the XJW community. He had apostatized, but really he had become aware of the fact that he was in a cult. He was literally a cult leader. This is not the same. If you don't know anything about Tony Morris, he's kind of hard to encapsulate in a couple of words, but if I had to absolutely try, I would say that he is a drunken, bigoted, loudmouth, insensitive, jerk, meanie guy. That's what I would say. I think that he has single-handedly brought more negative press to the organization than any of the other governing body members combined. The man doesn't know when to stop, okay? He doesn't know what is a thought that you keep to yourself and what is a thought that you say out loud, okay? He's always saying the quiet part out loud. They've caught him in 4K being a nutter on a number of occasions. So if that is one possibility for why he was removed, I can agree to that. The second that I think is also quite possible is he had been removed due to health-related reasons. I don't know if it's just because he's like a million years old at this point or what the deal is. If that was the case, then I think the Watchtower would be more sympathetic to that, and they probably wouldn't have removed him just on the basis of health alone, because there are governing body members in the past who had served until they died, even through the worst of their health conditions. And if that was the case, then I feel like there would be just an element more of fanfare to this. It certainly wouldn't have been buried in the newsroom section of their website that literally no one is ever going to go through. I think that it would be front page news. Pray for Brother Morris. He's very sick. He's very ill. Let's keep him in our hearts and minds. I think that that would very much be the messaging if that was the case. So that leaves me with a third option that I am tending to lean more towards. Watchtower is trying to pull one over on the United States government, or at least the government of the state of Pennsylvania. Previously on my channel, I have talked about these Pennsylvania predators who had been arrested and served charges and are being prosecuted against the state district attorney for CSA all across the state in various congregations. So all of these people were Jehovah's Witnesses and were abusing Jehovah's Witnesses children. And again, we know that these kinds of incidences are handled internally in the congregation. They fill out a form and they send it off to the headquarters, and then they destroy the local documents, and Watchtower keeps the forever document. Well, there have been some interesting developments in this Pennsylvania case. They have actually gone and subpoenaed all of the Watchtower's records, at least in that state, dating back to 1978. That's a big deal, bitch. That is a big deal, because no one has ever done that before. No one has ever come at them like that before, at least in the States. And it is such a problem that Watchtower has actually gone on and hired the same law firm that the Catholic Church used when they were involved in their CSA scandal. And even though this is a problem that I genuinely don't think that Watchtower can afford to keep running away from, they will still continue to do so. And I think that this removal of Tony Morris from the governing body is completely because there is something, some way that he was involved or that he was aware of some of these instances, and they have removed him from this position to lessen the impact of him being on the governing body and then also being involved in these cases, because I think that they learned their lesson when they sent Jeffrey Jackson to go and sit on the Australian Royal Commission back in 2015. So I think that because they don't want another instance with someone who has actually already been so put into the public eye before, they don't want him further involved in something of that magnitude. I would be willing to believe that he was directly involved in something. I can't say what, because, you know, I'm speculation, whatever. This is all just like tea and gossip, but... And I don't know what the real true answer is why he was removed. I'm sure that as time goes on, we might get more information from the inside, because we tend to love that for us. This whole thing is just so suspicious, you know? All of these little details are adding up, pieces of the puzzle are beginning to align, and every single move that Watchtower has made thus far just makes them look so much more guilty, so much more controlling, like they're trying to subvert the narrative before it comes knocking on their doorstep. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I'm afraid that it's already there. This is not something that you can continue to just sweep under the rug, because once there is a precedent for states coming after this information, who's to say that it's not going to start happening here? In my state, in Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Texas, all the other states. This is going to have a domino effect for many years that Watchtower is just not going to be able to stop. They could have stopped it from the beginning if they had learned how to properly handle these cases and how to actually protect children and the communities that these people reside in. But instead, they decided to put predators above victims in the name of saving face, in the name of maintaining this perfect, pristine image that nobody even believes you have. To not want to protect children because you're afraid that it's going to make you look bad is stupid and selfish and horrendous, despicable behavior, really, at the end of the day. Anyway, sorry, that was a rant, that was a tangent. Back to Tony Morris. From the bottom of my heart, I can say that Tony Morris has probably done more to wake up Jehovah's Witnesses than I will ever in my life, because he's just so terrible. He's just such a he's just a bad person. Because he's such a terrible person, that does give a lot of credence to the first argument that they removed him just simply for his poor behavior, and the fact that he was caught on camera buying a super inordinate amount of really expensive whiskey, and this is a person who is employed by the Jehovah's Witnesses organization. His whole life has been donation funded from his parishioners who honestly believe that he is part of God's only channel on earth. The larger issue here is the question that this begs. If the governing body members are the only people on the planet who can hear the voice of God and articulate what he says and what his purpose is for mankind can just be so easily removed, shuffled around, demoted, what does that mean? What does that actually mean? It means that God chose wrong? It means that God is not hand selecting these men. It means that they are not divinely ordained in any way, and that the only reason that they are there is because he climbed the ranks of a corporate organization like it was just a regular business. I don't know that any current day Jehovah's Witness is going to see it, first of all, actually see it again, buried in the newsroom. I don't know if they're actually going to see it, or if they do, what it will even mean to them. To them, I think they will assume that it probably is health related, even though it's not stated as such. But to the rest of us, it just looks so suspicious. So convenient that all of these things would be going on and Tony Morris is just relieved of his duties. Yeah, but I would love to know what you think about this scandal in the comments down below. I'm very interested in seeing what other opinions are out there. That was just my thoughts, just my opinion, and just my video. So if you like this video, then you can leave it a like, and if you like me, well then you can subscribe to this channel, where I will be talking about whatever I want, so whenever I want, because this is my channel, and that's what we do here, baby. So subscribe! And as always, chulas, I hope that you are having a beautiful, wonderful, amazing rest of your day, and make sure that you get 2 cleanings every single year.